Morning, we launched into the waters off the Matacana coast in search of snapper. After only a few minutes, we hooked these beautiful fish.
Brilliant.
So far, I've made 2 classic dishes. Snapper burgers with aioli.
And there we have it.
And beer-battered fish and chips.
And that fish is cooked to perfection with a bit of olive oil.
Now it's time to finish up with the stunner. Whole stuffed snapper with a pine nut pesto.
So the first thing we need to do is get a small pan on the open fire, drizzle a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to toast some pine nuts and some sesame seeds. So we've got 3 tablespoons of pine nuts and a tablespoon of sesame seeds in there. So these pine nuts and the sesame seeds are going to toast reasonably quickly, so I don't really want to walk away from them. Once you get that nice colour coming through like we are right this second, we want to transfer them off the pan and onto a paper towel.
Once the pine nuts and sesame seeds have cooled, pour them into the blender. Add a handful of fresh basil leaves, a handful of rocket, and mix it all up. As you can see, it blends up very, very quickly. We've got some olive oil here.
We'll open it up, pour some olive oil in, 5 tablespoons of olive oil, and start blending again. And then we'll grab some Parmesan cheese and a wheat grater, and we'll grate that Parmesan cheese about 2 tablespoons. And that's a good quality Parmesan cheese. That's a Parmigiano di Reggiano.
Add a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and a few drops of lemon. Pop the lid back on and blend again so everything is thoroughly mixed through.
So there we have our basil and rocket pesto, and we'll just pop that into a dish. Excellent. Next, we need to stuff the snapper. So I prepared the snapper earlier, descaled the snapper and cleaned all the scales off from just behind the head all the way down to the tail. Then I make an incision here until I make a pocket where all the stuffing can go into as well. So, first of all, we're going to get 1 chili, chop it in half, and then we'll just slice it into big chunks. In goes the chili.
Next, slice up a lime lengthways and insert that into the fish. Pushing the smallest piece as far down the towel as we can. Add a handful of fresh coriander or cilantro, a teaspoon of sesame seed oil, a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of soy sauce, and a few slices of lemongrass.
And I love lemongrass. It's so fresh and vibrant. Really reminds me of Thailand, Vietnam. So as you can see, the colours in there are looking beautiful. What I need to do is seal the snapper here through the belly section. And the reason why I'm doing this is so the stuffing doesn't fall out of the snapper when I'm turning it over. And we'll get a bit of flax. If you don't have flax, you can use a piece of string, but make sure that string is suitable for cooking purposes or grilling. So we're going to sew this snapper up, and we'll tie that off. And there we have our stuffed snapper. It's about to go in the grill, but first of all, we need to rub some olive oil over the snapper. So a bit of olive oil. And last of all, we're just going to make some inserts along the skin there, scarring the skin, and that's going to speed up the cooking process. So I'm pretty happy with the temperature of the fire, so we're going to put some aluminium foil on there to prevent it from sticking. Put the fish straight on there. On it goes. So this takes me back to my travels through Thailand, seeing the fresh fish being cooked on the side of the roads outside the restaurants. And I remember them calling me in saying, come on in, come and have a fish. But I couldn't afford it back in those days, so I used to catch my own fish off a wharf and then take them back into the hostel and cook them up myself. So we're just going to leave that fish on the aluminium for about 4 to 6 minutes. What a day it's been. That ocean has calmed down so much since we've been out there catching the snapper. So we're going to start preparing some vegetables to serve with the fish.
Cut a red capsicum into 4 slices. Rub olive oil onto all sides and then sprinkle them with salt. Add the capsicum to the grill to roast. Top and tail 3 courgettes and shave them into a bowl, taking the outer flesh but not the seeds.
I wanted you guys at home to see how the fish was going to be cooked on the tin foil And now I'm going to wrap it up and turn it over. We'll just coat it with a bit of olive oil. There we go, and over it goes. And the other side will cook off now. And those capsicums are ready, they can come off.
Slice the grilled capsicum lengthways and add it to the zucchini. Add a good handful of rocket and mix it all together.
That's cooked and ready, so let's get ready to plate. There we go. Nice. Great, now time for the sauce to go on.
Cover the snapper with a thick layer of pesto. Add the remaining pesto to the salad and mix it through. Squeeze the juice from one lime over the fish and then add the salad to the dish. Finally, slice up a red chilli and layer it on top of the pesto as a garnish.
Oh my gosh, this smells absolutely amazing. Grilling the whole fish adds a different flavour, more intense, stuffed with lemongrass, coriander, chilli, lime, and served with a vibrant coloured salad and a basil and rocket pesto smeared over the snapper with fresh red chillies to garnish. What a fantastic